Welcome to Present Scholars Perspectives, where we spotlight voices from CSULB's most prestigious merit-based scholarship. The scholarship is awarded to individuals that demonstrate exceptional leadership potential, commitment to community service, and innovative thinking. In this show, we'll get to know some of these present scholars and dive into their unique insights and perspectives on a variety of topics. I'm your host, Vince Norga, Associate Director for the University Honors Program and Administrator for these talented scholars. Join us as we celebrate their journeys and explore the impacts that they are prepared to make in our communities and beyond. Joining me today is Studio Arts major Atani Nelson and Computer Science major Carla Zuccarini. Hello, scholars. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. Are you prepared today to talk about how your future careers will be impacted by your current majors?
I would say, yeah.
All right, then let's start with you, Atani. What is your current interest that you're doing today, and how do you feel like that work towards your future?
Right now I'm currently majoring in studio arts. I recently just completed like an internship over the summer with Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers. So that was really cool. So I got to work under production management. So I realized that I wanted to continue that outside of college. So my plan is to kind of just continue to pursue my career in studio arts and get as much knowledge I can get from that, while still trying to look for other opportunities within production during my time here. That way I'll have more experience for the workforce, I guess.
No. And how about you, Carla?
I am studying computer science, as you have mentioned before. And with that, I was able to do some research over the summer and I guess early spring as well. It was almost like an internship as well, where I was implementing with a team wireless technology, which was Bluetooth and radio frequency technology, to improve construction site safety. And so with that as well, I was also able to learn a lot about industry, about research, just kind of what goes into, I guess, production of a software. Because as a programmer, I see more of just kind of the back scenes of everything, but not necessarily how you would produce that and sell it to a customer. So I think with this scholarship and just with this school in general, I've been able to have a lot of opportunities to just learn. And I think that's what matters to me most, is at the end of the day, it's not necessarily the pay or even where I'll be going in life, but as long as I'm learning and I'm enjoying the learning, then I'm having a good time.
Nice. And are either of you involved in any clubs on campus right now?
I am. I'm the BSU president of Cal State Long Beach, the Black Student Union. I've been a part of the organization since my freshman year. I started off as an intern and then worked my way up to becoming an executive board member to president now. I also am involved in other multiple other cultural clubs on campus too. So Nigerian Student Association, ISA, NESB, stuff like that. So I feel I'm kind of a little bit of everywhere on campus.
Nice. Do you feel like you're going to be doing something with that beyond your degree?
I would say so. At least for me, my culture and community is a part of me and something I still want to kind of implement within my career as well. I did mention a bit of producing production, so I want to be able to kind of go on different TV shows or feature films that highlight my community. So I'm gonna be a part of those types of projects in the future.
Nice. And how about you, Carla? Are you involved in anything on campus, or is it just research right now?
Besides the research, I am also involved. It's kind of a cultural club as well, but it's more faith-based. We call it the Alpha Omega Club. It sounds like a frat, but it's a Christian-based club where we do a lot of volunteering. We celebrate a lot of our cultures because we have different backgrounds, like a Mexican background. We have lots of African Americans. We have lots of Nordic people. A lot of people from here too. And with all of us coming together and celebrating our different cultures, we're also able to give back a lot to the community. We focus a lot on just anything that's service for the community. So beach clubs or beach cleanups. We also have just homeless food drives. We've definitely donated food. We've gone to different places and like maybe done like cleaning up buildings. We've cleaned up churches. So we do a lot of volunteer work. But we also provide, or at least I've been able to participate in some classes that we could offer for the community, kind of like ESL classes. A lot of the Spanish speaking churches, a lot of them aren't able to have education here.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to be able to help. My mom was actually leading it, and she was able to teach me kind of how to teach others English. And yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing a lot on campus. I think this semester we're focusing a lot on just like helping students on campus specifically, just providing food, providing classes for them, and that sort of thing.
Nice. You brought up an interesting thing. Has either of your degrees or courses that you've taken actually helped in kind of preparing you for these kind of outside ventures that you're like participating in terms of like, diving into leadership things or civic engagement? Do you have any classes or anything that have helped?
I can start us off. I think, at least to me, like, I guess, like, in the art perspective, is a lot of, like, collaborating and working with, like, different people with different backgrounds. So I think it's just kind of, like, for me, just learning, like, how to work with different people and, like, create an idea and, like, execute it the way that, like, we're assigned to. So, like, because a lot of, like, work in, like, the art field is kind of like, okay, like, you have a client, you kinda have to, like, execute what it is they want. So it's a lot of just, like, figuring out, like, okay, what everyone's weaknesses and strengths and kind of, like, executing that to get, like, the perfect, like, product. Which I feel like I also kind of, like, have practiced and learned how to, like, be better at being a leader as well, like, within BSU. 'Cause I'm working with, like, a lot of different people that, like, have different backgrounds and, like, we're all here for, like, the same goal. It's just a matter of just, like, figuring out what everyone's good at and then, like, going from there.
I think for me, it's a lot less classes and more workshops that my school has been providing for my major. Um, because a lot of the classes are more technical, working on skills, but a lot of workshops and programs that the school has been providing has helped me to work on my networking skills. Just getting to know people and socializing, because that is a big problem that I've seen in the industry with people who work with computers is they're interacting so much with these machines that they kind of forget that they also have to interact with their peers, and kind of how to learning how to leverage that for themselves and to benefit the community. I was fortunate enough to be a part of a joint program that helps women in computing learn kind of like AI and machine learning. And it was our Cal State Long Beach partnership partnering with UCLA. And with that, I was able to learn lots of different things. They had lots of Google representatives, Microsoft representatives. They were teaching us how to be confident, how to work with imposter syndrome, all that sorts of things. And so I think that's also helped me learn to be a better leader. Just kind of connecting with other people, bonding, how to like kind of work around talking to someone that we probably don't have a lot in common with.
Mhm.
And just kind of understanding that at the end of the day, like, again, we're all kids, we're all learning, and we're all just trying to be as successful in our own terms. And so, yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot, just like learning how to bond with people.
Awesome. Now, let me ask you both a question here. What would be your kind of dream project that you would want to do in the future that would be like your stamp on society?
I think for me, I really wanna, like, direct my own films, like, TV shows one day. A person I kinda, like, look up to is, like, Issa Rae, like, she's been able to, like, produce and, like, write, like, her own shows and also, like, help with other projects as well. So that's kind of what I wanna do in terms of just, like, again, highlighting my community and kind of, like, highlighting not so much, like, the negative stereotypes that, like, are on the Black community, but also, like, the positive ones as well, within animation as well, because I feel like it's kind of, like, limited already, especially, like, shown from, like, an animated perspective as well. So that's kind of, like, what I wanna do, like, outside and, like, my, like, dream goal, I guess, for, like, my career. Mhm.
It's very cool.
Thank you.
I would say for me, it's a little bit more of a technical project. I'm sure everyone has heard of Neuralink and Elon Musk creating that. And so those kind of projects are called brain computer interfaces, or BCI for short. And I don't necessarily have a lot of time right now. I've looked into it, but I think creating a project where I could have just like some nodes on my head, and it'll allow me to like move the mouse on my computer, and like click on things. Like I think the first patient that was able to use Neuralink he was completely paralyzed from like the neck down, and he was able to play chess, and he was crying from being able to actually like interact with things. And I would love to build something like that. I think even like my thesis right now is working on flex sensors.
Oh.
So to help with people with disabilities with being able to like have a robotic hand or a robotic glove and be able to grab something and pick it up. So I think working on those projects, kind of utilizing my AI skills to create something like that to help people with disabilities would be amazing. But it's definitely a very difficult project that I probably don't see myself fully completing until much later on in the future. But
Eventually you'll get there.
yeah, I would love to do that.
That's amazing. Yeah. Especially working on with our disability population. It's amazing. But yeah, and I love it too, working in the film and giving voices to those that aren't getting represented as much as we would like in the medium form too. I know my daughter would love to see more. So that's great. So what other things have you all been involved with on campus that you feel like is leading you towards your future?
Mm, I'll say overall, I think just like the connections that I've been able to like make on campus. Um, I guess like my freshman year, like I've lived on like the dorms and stuff like that, so that's kind of like helped me like meet new people and branch out. Because I think at the end of the day, like whatever field you're in, like it's important to make connections, even like with people that aren't necessarily in your field. Like I have friends that are like in computer science, like stuff like that. So it's like I'm learning from like other people, like based off like from their own perspectives as well. So I feel like that's something that I'm gonna like want to continue like take with me like to the future as well.
Nice. I think for me, it's just been the volunteering that we've done as Peace Scholars on campus. Again, similar to what she's saying, it's allowed me to connect with lots of people who I would never have met if it weren't for those events. I've met people from all different kinds of backgrounds, and they're all studying different things. And kind of like the computer science engineering hub tends to be on like the lower portion of campus. But I got to meet lots of people who are in language arts, some math majors. I've met a lot of people that have been doing like liberal arts, or even like kinesiology, which I've never met kinesiology majors before until now. And just being able to talk with them, get to know them, and just like how she said, just building connections with like my campus and my ministry, or sorry, not ministry, campus and the college students around me. Um, just being able to really experience the college life with the student has really made a big impact on me and really humbled me too. Just meeting all these different people. So I think that's definitely contributed a lot to my college experience here.
All right. Well, thank you, Atani and Carla, for your insightful thoughts. We are going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll be discussing cultural and generational perspectives on leadership here on Present Scholar Perspectives.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
We're back. Next on Present Scholar Perspectives, we'll be discussing thoughts about cultural and generational differences and how they play a part in leadership and society. Joining me is biology major Jay Mehta and civil engineering major Hannah Mourad. Welcome. How are you both doing?
I'm good.
I'm doing great.
You're doing great?
Yeah.
I'm good to see you both here. So why don't we talk about a little bit of your backgrounds before we get into whole leadership kind of components. I'll start with you, Jay. Kind of what has been your kind of maybe upbringing, things that you feel like play a part in your own development of leadership?
Yeah, so all throughout middle school, high school, and now college, like I've been very interested in helping a lot of people, administrators, leadership, and things of that nature. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing throughout high school, middle school, and college, yeah.
In college? Okay. Well, how about you?
For me, I feel like I've always like grown up like being like a leader, I guess, in terms of like, group project leader, or, wanting to help out people with what you said, trying to just be the best version of myself I can be to benefit everybody else.
Okay. All right. And are either of you involved in any clubs on campus where you get to demonstrate like leadership currently?
As of right now, I am part of a club. It's called American Medical Student Association, AMSA, part of Cal State Long Beach. And in that club, we actually help out like the community around us. As I don't necessarily have a leadership position as of right now. However, like we demonstrate leadership through helping out in the community, setting a good example. We were doing this adaptive baseball volunteering opportunity at a park that we work with challenge kids, and we just try to help out the community, and that's how we show our leadership.
Nice. And Hannah, are you involved in anything?
Yeah, I'm in the association of the ASCE club, so basically the big civil engineering club of the school. And in that, I'm part of the timber team. So we're tasked to kind of build like a timber structure for the competition. And I'm the aesthetics/reports lead. So I kind of help make it look nice, make sure everyone's writing is in accordance to what it's supposed to be. And then I'm also an engineering mentor to a group of freshmen as part of the University Honors Mentor Program.
Oh, nice. So you're part of our mentoring the incoming first-year students?
Yeah.
That's great. How has that been going?
It's been good, honestly. Like, they really come with a lot of questions of, what should I put for my schedule? Should I take this professor? What did you do to help yourself out? And, it's nice seeing them kind of go from being very nervous at first, like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm a freshman, to becoming more confident by the end of the semester, which is how they're presenting themselves now.
Nice.
Proud moment.
And Jay, are you by chance in that program?
Yeah, I am part of the HPMP program.
Okay. How do you feel about that program?
It's actually great. My mentors, they actually help me out a lot. I've been asking a bunch of questions, and they never fail to not answer one. They're really welcoming, and without them, I wouldn't be as confident and as outgoing as I am right now.
Oh, interesting. Now, kind of pivoting off of that, do you feel like that program itself is giving you any kind of leadership development skills or anything like that?
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of learning how to really handle different types of people, because I'm in a group of 3, right? So they're all very different. They have different schedules that I have to meet with them. And they all have different perspectives of what school should be like, what kind of clubs they should join, should they even join a club? And it's really kind of taught me to kind of adapt myself to each and every one of them so I can help benefit them.
Oh, nice. So a lot of scheduling is involved, do you feel like, in that leadership role? Okay. And how about as a mentee yourself?
Seeing how they interact with me, that makes me want to also do that in the future and be a mentor for new incoming students. I don't know, just being the helping hand to really, help someone transition from high school to college. I think it would be great. It sets them up for the rest of their years at college, and hopefully help them have a great first year at Cal State Long Beach.
Nice. Now, how would you describe your own kind of personal leadership style that you try to employ in maybe your daily life? Maybe not in a job or anything like that, but just being yourselves.
I think if you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have said iron fist.
Iron fist.
Very tough. But, as I'm growing up, right, and as I'm getting towards the end of college, I've become kind of more gentle in that kind of sense, and just more, especially with myself, kind of just more graceful, you know, having the benefit of not everything has to be perfect, just do your best, you know, stuff like that. And it's like mental health wise, it's been really good.
Okay. What was the great shifter from the Iron Fist though? Was there any specific things?
Going into college.
Just college in general?
Because I was class president in high school. So that was like that was a very fun experience. And I had to deal with the same group of kids for like 4 years. But then going into college, you know, you have to change that up. Like what I said with the honors mentees, you have to really switch up what you're doing constantly. So for me, I've had to learn to be more just more relaxed.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Jay? What would be your style? Has it changed?
Yeah, actually, I kind of like say with the same approach, just being relaxed, because I don't really feel like Iron Fist and really being that strong, you know, person. Like it'll help some people, but I feel like it just intimidates and rather stops you from reaching their full potential. If you're like relaxed and actually helping people work through things, they like know better, they learn, and so like they can like do the same task or whatever I've taught them like perfectly. So yeah, that's me. I'm more of a relaxed guy because I know people have like stuff going on in their lives, and being that leader, that not necessarily like you know, being like intimidating and mean, but rather being a helping hand for them. I feel like that really helps out.
Nice. Now, do you feel like you and your peers of your like generation would have similar thoughts on the style of leadership with that kind of relaxed style versus say like an older generation? Do you feel like there's differences amongst that?
Yeah, actually, most definitely. You know, older generation, I feel like they like the older generation. At least these are my experiences. I'm not talking for anyone else here, but I feel like they've always been like, do what we say, you know, and don't question it. You know, what we're saying is correct, right? And I totally get that approach because sometimes, you know, you don't have time to explain or do some stuff. But I feel like in my approach in leadership and my peers' approaches in leadership, being relaxed, helping, asking questions, answering questions can really just like shift an attitude. Really, like when you're told to do something and you don't know why, you're kind of like, oh, like why would I do this? But if you have like information and background, you'll be able to like better help out and better do things.
Okay, so you get like more buy-in when you get to ask questions about it? Nice.
Yeah, I agree with that. Honestly, when you see like that divide of like, oh, the boomers versus Gen Z, you know, it's very different of how 80 years ago they would think, okay, well, I said it and that's it, final word. But then now it's become more open to just different aspects of life, you know? I feel like with us, we're kind of just more take your time, and just go with the flow. Don't be too hard on yourself, stuff like that, which is kind of like the opposite of what maybe our parents were taught growing up. But yeah.
Now, are you both first gen, second gen college students, or I don't know which?
I'm not sure like how I'd like go about this, but I know my mom, she went to a 4-year in India, home, but I didn't never attend any 4-year universities in America, except for like JC and stuff like that. So again, it's my first time. Like at least my parents don't have knowledge about how to apply to colleges here. You know, they never had that. They couldn't like help me too much with that. So I kind of consider myself first gen, but maybe I'm second gen. I'm not sure like how to go.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the difference of the college experience impacts kind of like how you're developing your own leadership thing versus how your parents?
Like, okay, I could say like I haven't had much help in like applying to college, but they've helped me with everything else, which makes it super easy for me to function in college. And I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Yes, I might be a little bit more like knowledgeable on certain topics, but other than that, I don't feel like I have a different college experience than someone that their parents went to college here. Their parents went to college here.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
I've had the opposite of that. For me, I know, well, technically like university, me and my siblings, we are first gen. My dad went to a 4-year community college, and my mom started university, but then, you know, she dropped out and became a housewife and stuff. So for us, we never really had someone telling us like, okay, put this in your essay, do these extracurriculars. And I think for us, like my generation, it kind of felt like, oh, I'm at a disadvantage. But then I think of it and I know that for my kids and the future generation, it's kind of, okay, well, I can pass on what I know to them. So.
Nice. And so if you didn't have that knowledge being passed down to you, how did you develop it? How did you know to seek out like even the President Scholarship that you have currently?
Honestly, it was just the adults around me. I remember I had a teacher who really pushed me to go for it. And I submitted the application at the last hour on the last day because she was just pushing so hard. Like, you should do it. It's going to help you out. You don't know, like, maybe it'll go through. And then, ended up working out.
Nice. How about you, Jay? What inspired you to apply for like the President Scholarship?
Scholarship. So yeah, I mean, I applied for scholarship because it also like it talked about how like I'd be with also a close-knit community.
Mm-hmm.
And having that, especially if I don't know many people at Cal State Long Beach. So having that close-knit community really was like, oh, I should definitely apply. Plus, like all the perks of having the President's Scholarship, you are more focused on school than if you were to go to school and go to work, Mm-hmm. Having that financial flexibility is one of the best things someone can have, seriously. And if anyone else wants to apply to President's Scholarship, please do. It's a great thing to apply to.
Awesome.
That priority registration really helps you out so much. I feel like it's like, that's really what keeps you on track, because you're able to kind of plan out your classes from the scholarship. You don't have to stress out about much, honestly. It takes off like 80% of the weight of university.
Nice. Now, looking towards the future, do you feel like the things that you're learning now in your classes or anything will help you in like maybe future positions or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, like in chemistry, we're in labs and activities and things of that nature. And so like kind of being that leader in your like own lab group to help out others, if people are just they don't know too much or they're confused with the instructions and stuff like that. Having that, like being that leader definitely helps out. You can translate what you learn in your classes to other like jobs and internships and things of that nature.
Yeah, same with engineering. I feel like because you're doing so much collaborative work, engineering in itself is just super collaborative. So even through all the classes, you'd have like a group test or like a project due, and you'd have to work with groups of like 5 to 10 to 15 people. So from that, you kind of just learn how to really be a leader, not just for others, but for yourself. And that can really help you with your internships or like a future management position. And yeah, it's really beneficial.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you very much, Jay and Hannah, for your insightful thoughts on today's topic. And to our viewers at home, thank you for spending the time with us, and we'll see you next time at President Scholars Perspectives.